Today in the video, we're going to create a logo for the letter M using Adobe Illustrator. Let's get started. Welcome to Design Hackers, the place where I teach designers how to work less and earn more money. You don't need to work so hard to earn a respectful amount of money. Today in the video, we're going to show how to create a M logo in Illustrator, in Adobe Illustrator. The first thing we're going to do is to draw a rectangle. So I'm going to click on the rectangle tool. You might be over here selected on a different tool, so make sure to long click on that and then you can change between the different tools. We're going to choose rectangle tool and I'm going to draw a rectangle. It needs to be kind of long and vertical. Try to make it not so fat. You can also use the values that I'm using, which is width 60 and height 264. Great. Left my mouse, and over here on the left side in our color palette, you're going to want to make sure that the fill color is transparent, none, and your border color is black. Perfect. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this rectangle a bit of an angle. So right click, transform, rotate, and over here you can put your value. I'm going to give a value of 30% or 30 degrees and click OK. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to duplicate this rectangle, but I want to duplicate it reflected, and so to do that I'm gonna right click, transform, reflect, and over here you can choose or horizontal or vertical. I'm choosing vertical, which is exactly what I want. Always, if you don't see a preview, you can checkbox the preview to see the preview. And to make a copy, instead of just reflecting the image, instead of pressing OK, you can click copy. That will copy the image and create a duplicate for the reflection. Great, so our M shape is actually down here. This is the M, these two shapes. We're going to want to get rid of all the other shapes. So first step, before I'm going to get rid of parts of this shape, I'm going to select using my direct selection tool, which is the white cursor over here. And to make my shapes rounded, I'm gonna grab one of these corners, inside corners, and drag it inside all the way. This just makes it rounded, which is what I want to achieve. Looks cool, and we can jump into the next step. Next step, again, select the whole shape and click Shape Builder tool. Click on the Shape Builder tool, and right now you can see it has a small plus under it. We want to change the plus into a minus, and to do that we're going to click Alt on the keyboard. Now we're subtracting parts of the shape. So just click on the parts you want to subtract, and look how easy that was. Now we're left with our M shape. Just gonna make it bigger. Perfect. And the next step that we want to do is to round these 2 points up here. So again, white cursor, direct selection tool, and I'm gonna select only the 2 points from the top, grab one of the corners, the inside corners, and drag it down until I get a good rounded corner that I think fits my shape. You can always play around with this up and down, however you want. Right now, we already have a cool M shape for a logo, but I'm gonna make it even cooler by subtracting some of these lines. Now, to subtract the lines, I want to subtract from here and from down here. To do that, I'm going to first of all create a guide so I can be exact in terms of spacing. So I'm gonna click the rectangle tool again, and I'm gonna stand on the exact middle of the shape. Click Alt on the keyboard, and I'm gonna start drawing a square or a rectangle. Now you can see once you draw it from the middle and click Alt, it will open the shape up and down equally. So a little bit more, perfect. And this is going to be used for my guide. To create a guide from a shape, all you need to do is right click and click Make Guides. Now, right now it's just a guide. It's actually invisible if you print it out or something like that, but it's just going to be used to show us where we need to cut off our shape. Now, so the guide won't interfere. I'm just going to click on it, right click on it again, and in Arrange, I'm going to click Send to Back. Perfect. Next thing we want to do is to cut our shape. To do that, I'm going to get a little bit closer. And instead of Eraser tool, which we have here, I'm going to switch it to Scissors tool. You might already be in Scissors tool, depending on what you used last, but you can always switch between the eraser and the scissors by clicking and changing the tool. Now over here, once you see intersect, I'm just going to click on the shape, and down here I'm going to cut that. So we made two cuts, one up and one down, and now we can delete the shape. Next we're going to do the same thing down over here. So let's use the scissor tool again, intersect and intersect, and now we have a part of that we can delete. Cool, this is our M shape. Now we want to clear the guide, so we can go over here to View, Guides, and Clear Guides. This will clear the guide. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make the stroke stronger. So over here we have the stroke window. If it's not already open, you can always open these windows by going into Window in the main menu and clicking Stroke. So I'm going to change the weight to make this however strong I want. 20 pixel looks good. And now you can see that the end over here, which is called the cap, is not rounded like the rest of the shape. To make it rounded, we can just select a rounded cap. Look how cool that is. And we're done with our logo. The only thing we need to do is add some wording over here. So before I add wording, I'm just going to click Object, Expand, and OK. This changes the shape from being a stroke shape into a fill shape. So now if I play around with it, it will stay at the same stroke level that it should be. Select the whole shape, and just to merge it, what we're going to do is we're going to use the Pathfinder, and over here stand on Unite. This will just merge everything nicely. Now to add wording, just select the text tool. You can write whatever wording you need for your logo, and you can play around with the font. Let's just give this a different font so we can sort of see how it looks with different kinds of fonts. This one is cool. Now maybe because the shape is rounded, you're going to want to choose like a rounded type of font. I'm not going to take too much time in this video selecting a font, but this can actually work with any font you want. Let's choose a different one. Let's leave this one out, and you can put your wording on the right side or on the bottom. And always you're going to want to play around with the proportion between the logo and the typography. So I think we're done with our logo. I want to thank you guys for joining. If you're not subscribed yet to our YouTube channel, you're going to want to subscribe to get more updates about more cool videos that I have set up for you. So thank you for joining, and see you next time.